I believe that the reason God created man was for management.
Really? I have never heard it put that way.
The first thing is to be honest with yourself. You can never have an impact on society if you have not changed yourself.
God will never allow growth where there is no management.
Wow, wow, wow.
So instead of praying for things from God, pray for the management ability.
Everything I tell you is true. Everything I open my mouth and I say is correct because heaven directs me on what to say. Eligwe, Zemos in Zendidendo. Heaven will tell me and I will tell you it will come to pass in front of your eyes. Not behind you, you will see it happening.
God will withhold things from you if you cannot manage them.
When you look at the facts that something around 1 million people perished as a result of the actions of the British and Russian and Nigerian federal governments.
Vis-a-vis what we see in Nigeria, which is truly not, it should not be surprising. Look, what's happening in Nigeria is barbarous. It's horrible. I mean, it's complete madness, yet it's not a priority. The United States unilaterally could do almost anything it needs to do. It would be a long-term effort, but it could be done. And the United States has the capability. All the elements of power, we have those.
So why not?
It's not a priority. That's the problem. We are committed elsewhere in the world. Black West Africa is not a priority.
Anybody who changes his principles depending on whom he is dealing, that is not a man who can lead a nation.
Excuse me. They can't tell me. No way. When the time comes, it's okay. What stupid country is this? So when you still tell somebody's secret, when you like, you find secret. When you like, it's in public. What stupid country is that? What stupid country is that, I ask you? When you like, you try and when you like to try in private, they are killing my people. They are killing my people. They are killing They are killing my people. After killing my people, you tell me to tell the secret? The person is mad. Completely mad. Tell Buhari, that's what I said. That he is mad. He cannot tell me. He cannot tell me. He's a madman. There's a contempt of court proceedings here. Contempt of court. They don't obey court order. They don't obey court order. You're telling me secret trial. Is the person mad?
I, Nnamdi Kanu, will sacrifice anything sacrificable to make sure that Biafra comes.
We hereby declare no election, no 2023 general election in Biafra land. This no election in Biafra land has been activated. We are going to make it a task that must be done by every Biafran. All measures will be put in place to make sure the adequate civil disobedience is implemented to stop the election in Biafra land.
meaning of discovery. It means to bring to light something that is buried on the ground. If you can accept that, then you know that Biafra is coming. There is nothing man can do about it. It's too late. Way, way too late. The countdown has begun.
It is another time and opportunity to actually be here with you today. Today, Tuesday, the 13th of December 2022. Good to have you here. My name is Kelechi Ambrose, and of course, we are on the verge of rounding off the seat at home, but not rounding off our mission. Our mission is Biafra, and certainly we're going to achieve our mission. The seat at home continues tomorrow. Today is a break, a day where we have to actually look at so far what we have done, and at the same time also critically analyze the next step. And I want to tell you that you should expect some critical things about to happen. What to expect after now. We're going to be discussing all of those details after now. I want to appreciate you for joining wherever you are joining all over the nations of the world. My Biafra brothers, sisters, my Oduduwa brothers, sisters, and other nations that are aspiring to actually be free and are still looking for who is going to lead them into this. I mean, it is so much that God always sets Biafra to lead the pace. And that is why we had Mazi Nnamdi Kanu come out at the critical time when betrayal was the in thing, when betrayal was a cash cow for those who have actually who are actually stooges and all of that, you know, and they accepted to betray the cause. And then suddenly God raises someone who is going to stand firm and who is going to do what he has to do in the right spirit, and whose spirit will be upon that person. God's spirit is going to be upon that person, and the person is going to actually do the things that we need and that he needs to be accomplished in the lives of Biafrans. God has seen the pain of the people. God has seen our cries. God has heard our cries, and God knows our cries. And he decided to bring Mazi Nnamdi Kanu into the scene and educated every one of us. And suddenly, God anoints somebody else to, knowing that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu will be kidnapped, and God, knowing that what he wants to use Mazi Simon Ekpa to do, so that when Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is taken away for a while, which God permits, even if those who have done it are evil and they are going to be, the land of Biafra is going to deal with them as it is going to deal with them. God still allows Simon Ekpa to be ordained in that pattern, and then he carries on with the concept of the new dimension, which of course the dragon flag being lifted actually provided. And now we are here today, and we are seeing the same fight, the same force, the same resistance that was against Mazi Nnamdi Kanu coming strongly on Mazi Simon Ekpa and the autopilot media team, and the autopilot Nwada, and the autopilot finance people, and the autopilot contributors, and the autopilot committees and all of that. Everybody in the autopilot, we are seeing the attacks and everything. And this brings me to the issue of a video circulating all over social media where the faces of the some of the Umuada and some of the media people, including me, have been projected as people killing Biafrans in Biafra land. Very, very funny, but very serious. I'm going to talk about that today. And I think I don't want to play the video because I don't want to give credence and I don't want to give popularity to that video. But I'm going to talk about that fact very well. That particular video. You see, when it comes to freedom fighting, most of us may not understand the criticalness of what it means. Freedom fighting is a cause to actually install the trueness of God's plan for humanity. That is why when you see anywhere that freedom is talked about, you'll see much of resistance coming from people, and especially those that you don't even expect, even the people themselves becoming stooges to themselves and all of that, and fighting what God wants for them. But before I go on that anyways, I'm going to first go to before I go to the messages coming right now, I'm going to first play a particular video that I want to use in getting your mind refreshed of what the preachings and the gospel that have come from Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. It is important that we get refreshed along that line. Let me play that video, please. Listen to this critically.
What they had in Lagos in those days in Northern Barracks was a cult of homosexuals, of which Abba Kyari was, of course. Today, I know him very well, and I know the boyfriend. You people don't know what is happening in your zoo. Do you think that the curse that was laid on Asarok is a joke? Anybody who goes in there, you either die or you lose a relative. Go down to Asarok, you see what will happen to you. Abba Kyari is the last one. I said it live on air. If you go into Asarok to rule Nigeria, you will die there. Or your family, somebody from your household will die. Ask Jonathan, he will tell you. Ask Obasanjo, he will tell you. Ask Babangida, he will tell you. Ask Yaradua, he will tell you. You people don't know what you're in for. You have no idea that this very movement of IPOB, this Biafra movement, will crush the zoo to the ground. It will crush it to the ground. It cannot survive. It can never, ever survive. That I assure you. You watch and see what is going to happen.
Now, I want to tell you people something. I want to tell everyone something watching me, that the only thing that can stop the curse that's upon Nigeria is disintegration. That's the only thing. There's nothing else. There's nobody, not Matiku, not Tinubu, not Itobi, not another election, not all any of these people. The only thing that can take the curse that is upon Asarok is disintegration. And that will come by a referendum, whether peacefully or a revolution by violence. A revolution by referendum, a revolution by violence. Because you see, when we talk about violence, people don't understand what we say. They think we are preaching killings and all of that. When we talk about violence, we're talking about retaliating and defending ourselves against the enemies. Remember, as I always tell you, today killings are happening in the north. Plateau State, Jos, everywhere, killings everywhere. These guys are not asking for freedom. These guys are part of those people who actually were part of those who fought Biafra. In the Middle Belt, Benue, everywhere. They were part of those who fought Biafra. But yet the Fulanis are killing them. Remember when the Fulanis invaded the Hausa kingdom, Gober particularly, and then began to attack also Borno. After they succeeded in defeating Gober and took over and named it Sokoto, they went to Borno kingdom and they started trying to spread. And because there were resistance in some places, they were not able to spread. But remember, they always have that mission to fulfill. And they always have someone who is going to stand for them to make sure that mission of, that's the man who started the jihad program and the program of defeating and decimating nations, Osman Danfodio. They always have somebody who carried out. So when we talk about freedom, we are talking about breaking the curses or the curse that is upon everyone because of that bondage under the name Nigeria. But before I go on with this preaching in this exposition today, as we talk about what to expect from now, and then of course talking about the issues that actually the British have designed to fight against what the people are doing, I'm going to go to the message. I want to thank you, Chidex. You're the first person to send a message today, and that's why your message is longer on screen. And I want to tell you today, we're going to be interacting. I want you to send messages of information going around you, messages of the things you have in heart and you want to tell the public. And of course, I'm expecting a particular call today of someone who actually wanted to say something yesterday, but she couldn't. You can call. I'm going to set the number. You can call in and tell us what you want to. I want you to take a pen. I'm going to try, because if I display the number, I will not be able to display your messages. So I'm going to say out the number, and I'll keep saying it intermittently so that you can get the number to call. The number to call into the program is +212 707 898 194. I'll take it two more times. +212 707 898 194. I'll take it one more time. +212 707 898 194. Now, after 30 minutes from now, you can begin to call in. We want to be I'll just take time to say some things that I need to say, and then the calls can begin to come in, and then we'll begin to do the things we need to do. But let me go first to the messages. Now, remember, the time for our broadcast have changed to 4 p.m. Biafra time on all broadcasts. So prepare yourself in that regard. Now, let me go to the messages. Now, we have Chidix. Thank you. Good afternoon, Mazi Kelechi. Thank you, Chidix. Good to have you. I'm delighted to have you being the first person. Chidex. Now, okay, you have made it Chidex now. Formerly it was Chidix. The E was not there, so you have made it Chidex now. So good. So we understand that. Thank you so much for actually sending a message, and I appreciate you, my brother. Always here sending messages. Vine Maxwell says, good afternoon, great sons and daughters of Biafra. May God bless Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, IPOB autopilot, ES, and every genuine Biafra agitator. Our God Almighty rules. Yes, nobody disputes the fact that Almighty rules, and that's why we call him Chukwu Okike, and we are strongly in and following him, and to make sure that what he has ordained actually comes to play. Barry Eric says, good evening, Mazi, good evening. Thank you, Barry. Good to have you here. As always, I want to appreciate you for your message. Onyechi Floxy says, good afternoon, Mazi Kelechi and lovers of freedom. Thank you, Onyechi Floxy. Good to have you here. Always send the messages whenever you're here. Thank you so much. Vine Maxwell says, anyone that supports the evil against our people in Biafra land will suffer till Biafra comes. Yes, and that is ordained. That is a curse. It's a curse that can't be lifted. The curse is static, stational, and is consistent until they begin to retrace their steps. So Eric Barry says, if you are waiting for someone ever to come to terrorist country before you know that our freedom is coming, then just wait. When you see, when they talk about Muzamaka Nicholas and says, good afternoon, Mazi Kelechi. Thank you, Muzamaka. Good to have you here. Also, I appreciate you for joining. As usual, you will always send a message. Eric Barry, you see, we understand those. It's so shameful to see some people talk about Mazi Samunepa coming, returning, and all of that, blah, 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 and all of that. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu has been extraordinarily renditioned. So what has that done for them? Now he's here. And what has he stopped the movement? Has he stopped the fight? The people are fighting. We are all fighting. We are dedicated. The issue of freedom is not about Mazi Samunepa or Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. They are the ones leading us. That doesn't mean that if they decide to stop it today, it's going to stop. No, God has made it that they are the leaders, and God has given them the spirit to continue to lead, and they will not deviate. That's the fact, because they have been ordained to do this. Nothing can make them deviate. But if you want to regulate their movement to determine how we fight our freedom, then you must be mad in your head. Those people who are saying that Mazi Samunepa should come down, we don't need your talk. You don't tell us how to fight for freedom. You don't tell us how to be tactical in our approach to freedom. You don't tell us what to do and how to do it. You don't tell us that he has to come down here. Why must you tell us? Who are you to tell us how he should and how we should fight for our freedom? We are tactical, we are reasonable, we're not fools. Even an ant, when ant is eating sugar and they're carrying some stuff, once there's a noise somewhere, they will run away and go and hide. Ants know when to run away, when to hide, when to defend, when to stay away, and when to avoid being attacked. And you are saying, in your foolishness and your ignorance, you are saying Mazi Samunepa should just come and put himself in harm's way. Is that how it is done? You are unreasonable. You're very unreasonable. Those people who are talking about Mazi Samunepa returning, they are just being unreasonable because they just lack basic and common sense of reasoning. They lack it. How can you tell someone to put themselves in harm's way? Even you that is saying this, why don't you get yourself to go to where the Boko Haram or those people are kidnapping and just walk past there because you are strong, because you are saying that you want to stop. Just go there and tell them to stop kidnapping people. You should not, when you see trouble, people fighting somewhere, why do you avoid it? When you hear gunshots, why do you run? That is the foolishness of our people, using unnecessary arguments to try to make unnecessary points that make no sense. You don't tell us that Mazi Samunepa should come to Nigeria to come and talk about freedom. The people, we all have our responsibilities, and we all have our strategic locations to actually carry out our responsibilities. Mazi Samunepa was strategically positioned in Finland, and that's why Finland is giving him the protection. In spite of the bombardments, in spite of the attacks, in spite of the talks against him, he is strong and he's protected by the government of Finland. God did it that way. You can't fight it. Be jealous all you like, be envious all you like, be be wicked all you like and be stupid all you like, you can't fight it. You keep saying from now to tomorrow, keep spreading on social media that you should come back to the zoo to fight. It doesn't change our tactics. It doesn't make us stupid. We are not stupid like you reasoning that way, because your reasoning is making you think that way, which is less than what a normal person who should have a common sense should reason, the way and the thought pattern of a reasonable person. But because you are reasoning that way, we understand how stupid you are. So you can't tell us to go by your stupidity. No, we can't do that. We're not stupid. We're intelligent people. So Mazi Simon Ekpa will be where he is, and the time will come when he's going to come into the land. That's it. We don't owe you an apology. We don't owe you any explanation. We don't owe you any detail of what and how he's going to move and where he has to go. If you like, rant from here on social media from now till tomorrow. Mazi Simon Ekpa is where he is, and he's doing what he's going to do from that end. We are where we are, doing what we have to do from that end. Those who are in the land holding the AK-47 and AK-49 and all the sophisticated weapons we're buying, we're not hiding it, we're buying it to defend ourselves because they're killing us. You can see what happened during the sit at home, coming to kill our people, to put it in, and some people use the narrative of you said you are going to enforce the sit at home. And so since you said you're going to enforce the sit at home, that means you are the one killing our people. Now that is how stupid our people are. And we'll talk about enforcing sit at home, and we tell you, come out, you'll see. You're going to see what's going to happen to you. Doesn't mean that we are going to kill our people. Doesn't mean that we are actually hunting our people. It doesn't make sense. If we are going to hunt our people, we don't need to tell them to sit at home to hunt them. The reason why we're telling them to sit at home is common sense. We don't want them to be injured or killed by the Nigerian system, so that we can have a free space to engage them. We know they have been coming into our land using helicopters and all of that to kill our people. We know that what they have been doing. We know all of those details, and that is why we're trying to preserve the lives of our people. And that's why we told them to sit at home. You can't tell people to sit at home at the same time looking for ways to kill them. It doesn't make sense. Because if we want to kill people, we don't need to tell them to sit at home. All we need to do is allow them come out to the market square, allow them to come out to places where they are, their business place and all of that, and then send some people to just go there and shoot sporadically, and then we say, oh, enemies have come to kill. So why do we tell you to sit at home? It's simple, so that you can be indoors and not be hit by the enemy's bullet, because we are strategically engaging them, and we know when we need to get them out. So and when we say sit at home, we get them out because they deploy, they want to come in, they want to just do some stuff, they just want to make some noise. So when we say sit at home, they will deploy their men, so we want to engage them on the street. So we say sit at home so that you stay away from harm's way, you stay away from trouble, and then we can have an opportunity to engage them. And so it's critical to see how people bring up this narrative of saying that we said we're going to enforce sit at home, and that is why people are dying. It doesn't make sense. In the first place, I want to ask you, how else do you expect Nigeria to fight you? How else do you expect? So you said now that you want Biafra, and you are saying that those who say they want Biafra are the ones killing themselves. So what is Nigeria doing if they are the ones killing themselves? Now, somebody will say, because they are the ones sponsoring Simon Ekpa. Okay, they are sponsoring Simon Ekpa to fight the election that they need to actually endorse Nigeria. How can they fund? Does it make sense? How can they fund Mazi Simon Ekpa to scatter a thing that they need daily, the thing that they pray for? They want you to keep doing it because it helps them have another opportunity of 4 years in the illegal entity called Nigeria. For that entity to be relevant for another 4 years, they need your vote because it has expired in 1914. In the first place, it was illegal because it was just a business name. And then it has existed for 100 years, which was the agreement. And then after that, anybody who wants to leave that business, which we are forced to be in, will have to leave. And they know it has expired. So all they do now is they push the narrative of you continually voting in that level of ignorance. Because when you vote, you state categorically that you like the structure. And so because you like the structure, you want to get a leader to lead you or to rule you on that structure. So when you go out to vote, you are saying to them that this structure that is called Nigeria and this constitution that this person you want to actually vote for is going to come to swear on because they take their oath based on the constitution. You are telling everybody that you are part of this election to endorse that constitution, which this person you want to come and rule you now should swear an oath to govern you. And as soon as you do that, you have given them the power to another 4 years to keep you in servitude, because the Constitution does not guarantee them doing anything for you. The Constitution does not guarantee infrastructure. The Constitution does not guarantee good governance. The Constitution does not guarantee, kicking against nepotism. The Constitution does not guarantee you having your freedom of speech, freedom of movement, freedom of all of these details. The Constitution states all of these things. Go and look at the Constitution very well. Read it very well. The Constitution actually states all of these things, but in the clause, I think in chapter 3 or so, I forgot, on chapter 6, there's a place where it now says that even if the Constitution has all of this information, you cannot hold them responsible, or you cannot hold them for not carrying out all of these things, which means indirectly, it simply means that they owe you no apology for not doing anything that is in the Constitution. The same Constitution has double standards, two-faced. It's just like when Jesus was talking about serving two masters. You can't serve two masters. You must serve one, and you must hate one and serve the other. It's just plain. It's a law. It's a law. You can't, even God himself, they cannot permit you to serve him. You say, you shall have no other God before me. If you are going to serve, you can't serve God and at the same time serve Mammon. Mammon is the demon, of course, which of course fundamentally is of money. And of course, money is fundamentally the reason why wickedness is everywhere. The money is the reason why you find governments and you find wicked people everywhere. What is it that is happening in Nigeria? It's because of money. So the Fulanis, the Fulanis behavior, their actions, their attacks and everything is just because of your resources. So it is basic now for us to understand that the concept of subjugating people is all about money and resources. That's all about resources, and of course translated into money. Of course, the value by money, the value of these resources weighed by money. So of course the cash of the naira or cashless system, or all of that. We know the end product is to acquire much of money, whether cashless or the cash itself, and all of these details. So we know that all of these fight. That is why Jesus was saying you can serve God and Mammon, because every of the details of subjugation, of nepotism, of enslavement, of imposing on other people, of refusing the people their rights, of killing, of rituals, and all of these details are because of money. So two things happen here fundamentally that Biafrans must understand. You have to understand that two things are playing in the process of seeking for our freedom. We are in Nigeria, trapped in Nigeria because of the God of Mammon, which Nigeria represents. Because let me tell you how it is God of Mammon. Nigeria is designed as a business empire. We all know these details. I don't need to come up with all those details now, but I have to explain this. Nigeria is designed as a business empire. And the context of designing Nigeria, it's not for the interest of the people. That was why there was no referendum. There was no, what do you call it now? There was no referendum. Let me use the word referendum. There was no inquiry. There was no seeking the people's opinion for the creation of Nigeria. The British just came and they started kidnapping our people, killing them, taking some for slavery, using them, selling them out, and all of that. And then they saw that the business was lucrative. The local people were supporting. The local betrayers were actually helping the business to boom. The local betrayers were also looking for their own selfish ends, and they continued to help the British to do what they have to do. So in order to strengthen that trade, illegal trade, they felt that it is necessary they register it as a company and give it a name. And so they look at everywhere. Of course, where are the people they are getting? They're getting the people being kidnapped and being enslaved, or the people they take for slavery and all of that. They get it within the nations. They get them from Biafra land. They get them from the Oduduwa land. They get them from the Hausa land. They get them from the Middle Belt and all those lands, and the tribes and all of that. So these people are taken from amongst the people, especially in Biafra region. These people are taken from there as slaves and sold as commodities in the international market, international slavery market. Sold to the Americas, sold to the Asians, to the European nations, and all of this stuff. Of course, they were sold everywhere. And so because the business was booming, they felt that it was very good for them, or strategic for them, to actually stabilize it and give it a form of structure so that they can know how the money flows. So they decided now that they are going to actually, of course, when you want to do business, you don't consult the commodities. Oh, my. You don't consult commodities when you're doing business. For instance, if you are a producer of palm oil, for instance, you go to the farm, you produce. You don't need the palm trees. You don't need their consent to plan how you are going to operate or how you're going to extract the oil and all of that. You don't need them. They are your products. The palm trees are the products. All you need to do is you either plant more palm trees and you decide when to what aspect of the tree you use for a particular business, or what aspect of the oil, or when the oil is extracted and all of that. You decide the country you want it to be exported. You decide the market you're going to sell it into. The palm tree, the products don't determine how you sell the oil, how you extract the oil, how you process the products from the raw material. The palm tree does not tell you that. The people brought together under the contraption Nigeria, who have become the products of the commodities of the British, had no say in the construction of the business name Nigeria. They had no say because they were already products, like that palm tree. They were just products. And so they have no say in determining whether they like to be in Nigeria or not. The palm tree does not have a say to determine whether it is going to be the owner of the palm tree or the owner of the vineyard where the palm tree is planted. They don't have a say to tell the owner of the vineyard what name to give their vineyard or how the vineyard should be operated. They don't have the say. So the same way also, those who are in the contraption were jumbled like the products, and they didn't have a say in the way they actually would decide or determine to carry out what they want to carry out on the people. So because we were just products, they sell some of us into slavery and all of that. They began to see that we have resources around that they can exploit, exploit, and all of that. And of course, they could plunder us, and they saw willing tools amongst us, the people they call warrant chiefs, the people they Funja, and all these people along the line of the southern side of Africa and all of that. They saw the willing tools, and they saw that the willing tools are ever willing to do their bidding. They decided to now organize the business very well so that the willing tools would manage the business. Why they are the stake and the shareholders or the owners of the company. So Britain became the owner of the company. They gave it Nigeria, and Frederick Lugard and his girlfriend Flora Shaw, together they decided, they gave it a name. She brought the name, and they gave it, these people are around the Niger River, so let's call them Niger area, Nigeria people. And so the Niggers, the Niger River, so they are called Niger area, and the Niger area, the area of Niggers, the area of the cursed people, the area of the blacks, those who are cursed. And so they decided, now let's give them that name, because it's just a business name anyways. It doesn't it's actually not it actually doesn't represent the name of a nation. They knew, with their British commanders giving them instructions from UK or from Britain or from England or wherever they are, the Queen, the Buckingham Palace, giving them instructions and telling them. Now remember, I told you the other time that Frederick Lugard and other people who actually came into this are smugglers, they are pirates, and they're criminals. So Britain, these people, the Europeans and America and all of that, when they catch criminals like that, they always look into your ability. Wow, especially when they catch smart criminals. They look for how they are going to use your smartness, and tie you by the crime. So what they do is this: they consult you business-wise using your smartness and your capability. But they know that they have held you, they have something against you, which is the crime you have committed, and which they are going to use as a bargain to make you do what they have to do. They want you to do, because they know that if they just being on your own as a criminal, and without you being being indicted somehow in your crime in any ways, there's no way they can guarantee that you can do their biddings very well. So they need to first catch you and get you to indict. They need to indict you and declare that you're a criminal, and then jail you or convict you. And then after that, they have established the fact that you're a criminal. As soon as they have established that fact you're a criminal, they now use it against you, so that they can use it to bargain with you and for a particular special course or a particular special program that they want to use you for, especially for their own interests. So now they discuss with you based on the fact that you have something to offer, but they know that they are holding you, on your scrotum. What, when you say you hold somebody for, and where he go pin up. They hold you there by the crime you have committed. Then they now use you, using your talent and your gifting, which is in you, to actually fulfill the mission. Lord Frederick Lugard and other people who were being used at those times, those criminals and those pirates, were actually criminals which the British government could execute, which the British government and all those people then would have been able to deal with. But now they know they are criminals. So they now decide to use them, holding them by their crime, but yet using them to fulfill as a means of negotiations. So now you are a criminal. We know you are a criminal, but we want to free you. We don't want to jail you because we know you're a criminal, but we want you now to do a work for us. So the work you're going to do for us now will help, will help free you. So people like Frederick Lugard were doing everything. We were doing everything to make sure that they get results for the British Empire. And at that point, they came into the Niger area. That's how they connect also with people with their stealthy ways and their behaviors and their criminality. They were able to identify other criminals in the nations around the Yoruba nation or the Oduduwa nation, the Biafra nation, and other nations. They identify the criminals. The same way also Usman Danfodio, the same program. He identifies those ones he was able to deceive and then use them as a means. Now, this time around, anyways, he deceived the people. But this time around, Britain came and used criminals. That was why somebody like Nnamdi Azikiwe, after they made him commit crime, they knew he was going to commit crime. They gave him monies that they know that he's not going to pay, and of course they made sure that he couldn't pay. They frustrated him to that point where he couldn't pay, and of course made him feel that he's comfortable just collecting the money and not paying. And then when they now got to the point where they now could indict him as a criminal, they now told him, now we know you're a criminal. They took him to London, you're a criminal. We can jail you, but we don't want to jail you. Now, what we want to do is that we want this entity, because the business we're doing, and which we know that the Fulani area, the northern area, we can trust them to actually manage the whole of the business in the southern place, in the Oduduwa land and all of that. The reason why we want all of you together is because we would have just held only the south, together, maybe Yoruba land and the Biafra land and the Middle Belt. But we need the Fulani side to be part of it, because the Fulanis can be trusted. We trust the Fulanis. You know why we have trusted them? And when Lugard offered an opportunity to the Emir of Sokoto to help him fight his fellow Fulani man who was against him, the Emir told him, I don't need your support. For the fact that we are quarreling, we're fighting, I believe my brother than you. I trust my brother whom we are fighting. In fact, we can fight ourselves and kill. Either he kills me or I kill him. But I trust him more than you, this man called Lugard, representing the British Empire. I trust him more than you. So don't tell me that you want to help me to get rid of him. We know how to settle our scores. We know what to do. In that singular act, in that singular action, the British Empire understood that the Fulanis cannot betray one another. They knew that the Fulanis cannot betray one another. So they saw them as, oh, these people are criminal, but they cannot betray one another. So if they are criminals, and we too, we are criminals, we want what they want. They actually want the whole of, they want the southern area. They want to take over Biafra land. They want to take over Oduduwa land. They want what we want. We want to take over their land, take over their resources, because we have discovered even more than what the Fulanis have discovered. Fulanis want to control them and rule them and let them to make them pay tax and all of that. When they go to market, they pay tax. But we now know that they have more. We know they have oil. We know they have some very gold. They have gold. They have so many things that are natural that we, as developing, then we know what to use these things for. So we are criminals. We know we have more insights than the Fulanis. Now we are going to allow the Fulanis. We are going to exploit these areas. We are going to discover most of the things that they have as raw resources or mineral resources, even human resources. Material resources. We're going to discover them based on our ability, our aptitude, and all of that. As soon as we discover this, we're going to put Fulanis to be managing these things on our behalf. That is why we want that contraption to stay. That's why this business we are creating now, even if the people are the commodity, we are selling the people as slaves and all of that, and we want to exploit their resources. We are going to need somebody who is going to be reliable, that will not betray themselves, that are also criminals. So since they are criminals, we are going to give power to the Fulanis. They are criminals. They want wealth. They want money. They don't want to work. They are lazy people. They don't want to do anything. They just want, these are the things they need. So what we're going to do now is we're going to put the power in their hands, which is what they want, and control. They steal the money. They steal the resources. They will still allow us to steal because they know this does not belong to them. And they know also that this does not belong to us. So chop, I chop. In that realm, allow us Fulanis do our thing, and then we allow you to take your thing. So that is how we got to this point. And now, based on this, Nnamdi Azikiwe and co, who also, they know that the only strategy you are going to use against them is to make them criminals. After making them criminals, they indict them and prove them that they are criminals, make them understand that they're criminals, and then tell them what they want them to do. Now we have discovered you are a criminal. Nnamdi Azikiwe, you are now a criminal, but we know that we need this enterprise or this business empire to stay. But we need you. So you are the only one who can unite because of your influence in the Igbo land or in the Biafra land. In Biafra land, you are the only one who can unite the Biafra people. At the same time, we know that you and Yoruba people can get along. You know, Yorubas are still here with us, but we need the Fulanis and the Hausas. They are refusing to stay in this relationship because their eyes are not open yet to what they can gain. They are refusing to stay in this contraption because their eyes yet is not open to the resources, enormous resources in your land. But now we want you to make sure that the Fulani stay well. So you are going to go make an alliance with the Northerners and make sure that this contraption we have created called Nigeria stay one. That is how Nnamdi Azikiwe betrayed Awolowo and betrayed every other person. And this where we're in now, the trouble we're in. Now let's just go. That's a brief history of this because today is evidence history. We need to look at these details to actually marry them to what we're doing now. Times have gone, things have happened, and of course, I can't keep saying all of these details of history. Suddenly, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu appears, Livo Azurike, he actually, as soon as you betray, you have actually shown that you are not called for this. So Azurike was not called for it, even if he actually did what he did, you know, to the point where he now got an opportunity to make money. He couldn't be resilient, he couldn't be strong. Those who are called for a particular thing are always resilient. No matter what you do to them, they cannot deviate. They cannot, if you like, keep killing them little by little, they're not going to go away from it. That's how they are. That's what they are created to do, and that's who they are. So this has proved to us that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is called. Now let's come to the point where Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, now we have come to the point of the called out ones. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, Mazi Simon Ekpa, and everyone who is also in this, including you, if you are a supporter, if you are strongly in it, you are also called for this. Now, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu has begun this. We saw what he began, when he began. I want to answer the question of one of these people 2 days ago who was asking Mazi Simon Ekpa that, and why don't we change tactics from sit at home? Why must it be sit at home? And why not we do something else? And Mazi Simon Ekpa asked him, I said, what else do you want us to do if not for sit at home? So what will you propose that we do? And he said, and what you should have done is to reorientate the people. And I laughed where I was, you know. Now let me educate him. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu began with the concept of reorientation. Remember, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu was also part of the contraption and understood the template of the contraption, understood the language of the contraption, got information about the contraption. God made him to be part of the contraption and even at that point when he was a baby in the war, and of course first-hand experience of the activities after the war and all of these details. So God put him in that situation so that, now let me give you a similarity. Moses was born in that same situation of war when Pharaoh declared war against Israel. That was when Moses was born. Do you know that? Now go back to the scripture. Moses, you know, Exodus chapter 2, you see the, you know, all of that. Moses chapter 1, chapter 2, you see it. Moses was born when Pharaoh started oppressing the people. That is representation of war. That means when Pharaoh declared war against the people of Israel, subjecting them to slavery, you know, just like the Fulanis want to do. When Moses was born in that situation and grew up knowing that he is a slave, even if he is in the palace. So Moses was a prince because he was put in the palace of Pharaoh or the palace of the enemy. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu also was born as a prince of Biafra, but was put in a contraption that was subjugating and controlling the people, and was born in the midst of the war, just like Moses was born in the midst of that same war. Remember, the suppression and the subjugation of Israel was a war. Anytime you are being oppressed, there's a war against you. Anytime people call for your oppression, there's a war against you. Now, God allowed Moses to be put in the house of Pharaoh to learn of all the decadence of Egypt, to learn about the nature, the history, the religion, the history, and everything that has to do with Egypt. Moses grew up under the wickedness of Egypt, understanding everything that has to do with Egypt. Moses grew up understanding the details of Egypt, understanding the corruption of Egypt, grew up in that corruption, eating of the corruption, doing business in that corruption, but he was growing up with the knowledge of God, because as much as God was expanding his knowledge to understand the deceit and the wickedness of Egypt and the nature of the war they have called against God's people, God was also getting his mind to understand that he has been ordained for the cause of freeing the people. So along the line, he got into error, and in that error, he joined, he killed an Egyptian, and suddenly he saw another fight. He wanted to intervene, and the people said, "We know you killed somebody the other time, an Egyptian. Now you want to come and kill me again?" And then that was when he discovered now that his issue of killing, his tactics have been exposed. The same way also, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu got into the, thinking that, he could actually do the work the way God wants him to do it by joining Zurike's team. And when he got there, he saw the corruption and all of that. And along the line, he was about being killed. He had to escape. God saved him, used some people to save him. When Zurike sent a woman to urinate on him, and they tortured him on his wedding day. All of these details, we have those information. Now he left there and he went into the wilderness. Symbolically, he started grooming himself. He went abroad, grooming himself, knew about Nigeria, just like Moses knew about Egypt. And then he now came to the fullness of the time Chukwu Okike wants him to function. When he now came into the fullness, the first thing he did was reorientation. He started preaching about Chukwu Okike and telling the people who they are. The same strategy Moses used. God said, when you go there, tell Pharaoh and tell the people that I have sent you. That means you're going to tell them, reorientate them about who they are and where they come from, their source. Moses began with reorientation. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu began with reorientation. Moses dwelt on reorientation at all times, kept, even in the midst of the pain, kept telling the people that God is going to do it. They will be free. The same way also, Moses was also telling them about how Pharaoh's heart will be hardened more and more and come to kill them. But in the end, they will be free. Moses was telling the children of Israel, Pharaoh will not, because God tells him, Pharaoh will not release you. Do this miracle, he will not release you. And Moses comes to the people and says, Pharaoh will not release you, but God is saying you are going to be free. God said, I will deal with them. They are going to fight you, but I'm going to fight back on your behalf. And in the end, you'll be free. The same slogan Mazi Nnamdi Kanu uses, or used, and we're still using. They will kill us, we will kill them. In the end, Biafra will come. That is the same slogan that Moses was using. So, but in the midst of all of these, Moses was always encouraged by the word of God that made him understand that the freedom is going to come. The same way also, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, in the midst of the situation that he's found himself now, still is encouraged by that power and that spirit that burns in his bones, that tells him that in the end, Biafra will come. And so he refused to budge. Now, fast forward to this day, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is in the hands of the enemies. The same way Pharaoh said, I don't want to see Pharaoh again. I'm sorry, I don't want to see Moses again. Don't come to see me. I don't want to see you again. And Moses was removed. Aaron and co were silenced. And suddenly, God begins to do some stuff. And then they have to look for Moses. Pharaoh had to look for Moses because of the trouble he has found himself. Now, Nigeria has found themselves in grave trouble because of the activities that God is using Mazi Nnamdi to. Now, today we hear of the people. We hear of the people in the zoo talking about they will come and give us a message that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu said. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu said. They are so troubled that they are looking for solution. Now we hear of the Huriwa, also what they call Human Rights Writers Association, coming out yesterday to publish that if the Nigeria government or Buhari is the masked man, anyways, we know he's a masked man. If he's not the one sponsoring the killings through Mazi Simon Ekpa, they should let Mazi Nnamdi Kanu come and address the people. Now, in the first place, before I even talk about that, in the first place, why would you say that Nigeria government is even sponsoring Mazi Simon Ekpa to fight against themselves? It doesn't make sense. Because everything that Mazi Samanepa is still doing is the same thing, are the same things that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu said should happen. Now, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu says that the dragon flag had been lifted, and this time around we have picked up weapons. The flag will not go down. We are not going to drop our weapons until we get freedom. And Samanepa says, yes, we are continuing making sure that ESN is sustained as Mazi Nnamdi Kanu did it, has done it. And we make sure that our weapons, we keep buying more weapons. We raise funds to buy more weapons according to what Mazi Nnamdi Kanu have said. And yet, we have a group of people in the whole thing that are claiming to be the ones following Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. What the Nigeria government wants for ESN to be dissolved, for weapons to be dropped, for election to hold, for the people not to sit at home, and all of these details is the same thing these people who claim to be with Mazi Nnamdi Kanu want. But it is not the same thing that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu want. Why would you say you are fighting for Biafra and you are fighting against one instrument that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu used during when he was here, the instrument of sit at home? Why would you fight that instrument when you know that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu actually said it, that it's a potent weapon, and he even at a point was telling people that we will enforce this sit at home, even if we know that yes, sometimes it was cancelled. Now, why would you think that when it comes to strategic things like this, like election, which of course is going to help us quickly get our freedom, which you know that if Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is here, he's not going to budge, he's not going to stop, because this one is strategic based on the fact that they have allowed Buhari to mess up, as Mazi Nnamdi Kanu said, that Buhari will help Biafra to come. And so the way Buhari was supposed to help Biafra to come is to destroy the zoo and allowing terrorists to invade lands. As soon as that happens, people will now see the need for freedom. People will now begin to agitate. Do you know that that prophecy of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu have come to pass? Do you know that it is because of that prophecy that today the Oduduwa world is standing strong? Because they have come to see that the Fulanis actually mean to kill them. It was along the line of this that Pafachoranti also, the daughter was killed. When the daughter was killed, the Oduduwa people understood how grievous this matter is. When they came to attack, that was how when Sunday Igboho now showed up. Sunday Igboho now showed up, and it became obvious to them now that Nigeria needs to disintegrate. Today, in the first last month, on the 5th or 6th or so, we saw Professor Akintoye, and Igboho and other people come up, and they were saying that they must dissolve, they must get their nation by the end of this year, before the end of this year. They are talking tough today, which Mazi Nnamdi Kanu prophesied that Buhari would be the reason to get us Biafra and to save the nations that are trapped. Today, obviously, we can see that the activities of the so-called Buhari is the reason why today everybody is talking about freedom. So that is a sign, one, that tells you that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is called. Two, that is evidence of the fact that God made it to the point where things were done in a way that will expose the Fulanis and expose the so-called masterman called Buhari. So today, it is now very clear that the sit at home should not be called off, because as at that 2015, when Mazi Nnamdi Kanu was talking about when he called off the sit at home and all of that to allow elections in Biafra land, he said it prophetically, even if the pressure was on him to call back that. He said, this Buhari that is coming in is going to be the reason, since you don't want me to continue the sit at home at that point, this Buhari will make you look for sit at home. But now you see that obviously this same Buhari has made it possible that we are all in one page. Today we have the alliance. The alliance is made possible because of that prophetic utterance from Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. The alliance became evidently possible. That means physically obvious and of course evidently released and obviously pronounced in our time through Mazi Samanepa, because he sustained the temple. So now it is obvious that we are already in the stage and in the time of the freedom. because everything pronounced prophetically has come to pass. And what is left is Biafra to come. They will kill us, we will kill them, and Biafra will come. They've been killing us. We are killing them back now. Remember, Mazinam said they will kill us. That is what they started to do. They started killing us. The first thing is that they started the killings. They started killing us. So we now begin to kill them back by defending ourselves, not to allow them kill us. That is the second. The first is they will kill us. The second is we will kill them. The third is Biafra will come. What is happening now? They were killing us. We lifted flag. They killed us. We protested. They killed us. Our women move around. They kill us. Our men look, they just suspect that this is a young man. He will be strong. He will be useful for Biafra fight. They kill him. They were kidnapping us, killing us. We were just protesting. We kept protesting. We kept rallying. They were shooting us without any remorse. They came to our village, and this is one of the things they do. They did. Let me show you this video as I showed you yesterday. They did this to our people. They turned the life ammunition in our defenseless people. They were shooting into houses, they were shooting through the walls, killing people in the houses, killing our people in the room, killing our people all over Biafra land. As Muslim independent prophesied, they will kill us. The dragon flag was not lifted. We will kill them. That means we are going to defend ourselves. That's what it means. So prophetically, the two sides is not balanced. We are now defending ourselves, and we are killing them to defend ourselves because they are going to kill us. The next thing to happen is Biafra will come. This is what to expect next. And that is why you should understand that the sit at home is an in to that manifestation of Biafra. What you should expect from now is the coming of Biafra, according to the prophecy of Muslim. They will kill us. That's the first thing. We will kill them back and by defending ourselves. And that is what we're doing now. Now, the next thing to expect is Biafra will come. I don't know whether you get the picture now. It's already almost 1 hour. I'm going to stop this and I'm going to continue tomorrow, Wednesday, in this same narrative. I'm going to continue from this point, tell you how Biafra will come and the details to expect and the things that will happen to the coming of Biafra. Because they have killed us. We are killing them now. We are defeating them by defending and stopping them from killing us. Biafra is next to come. We're going to explain the details of what Biafra means in the context of coming from it. So now I'm going to go straight to your messages so that I can know your thoughts, I can understand what's on your mind, and I can also relate with you with your messages. Now, let's go to the message column. I know that we have received lots of messages and our people are here. If you want to call in and contribute to what I've said, or you want to make additions to what I've said, whoever you are, please, you can call in with a number +212 707 898 194 +212 707 898 194. One more time, +212 707 898 194. If you want to say something, you are so you appreciate the things I've said, you understand them very well, and you want to say something in that line, you can call in now and we're going to give you the platform to speak. Let me go to the message column and read your thoughts here, and also appreciate you for being here. Now the message column, now we have the next message after Uzamaka's message, the new dimension plus da bon emego. This must be one of my Nigerian brothers, I think so. Yes, good, my brother Darabon, good to have you here. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for your message, my brother. I'm happy to see your message. And Madasan says, good day, Brother Kelechi. Well, thank you, ma. Good to have you here. I know you are fine and doing very great. Yes, I love this platform. Daragon says, I love this platform. Thank you so much, Daragon. You know, thank you so much. We have the first caller live here on Biafra Global Network. We have the first caller here live on Biafra Global Network. And of course, we are going live right now. And let me, oh, what's happening to me? Network problem, but now okay, it's been restored. The network has been restored.
Because of snow is all over.
Okay, yes. Okay. Yes, we are back here. We're back here. We're back live now. Please go on. Please go on. We are live now. Go on.
Questions to many Biafrans in abroad, not even those that are at home, because we in abroad are the ones to educate our people at home.
Yes.
But when we in abroad that are misbehaving or talking rubbish, it's making me to feel more pain than those at home. Because the thing that I understand to the brain of our people abroad is that they don't want anybody to get up. They want only to feed themselves, to hear when they go home with the flashy car, with the money, to answer Omeronyodo, Omefronyodo, Omenka, is them. Then they will be posing, they will be blowing like a football or like a blow that you just put a pin and it will. That's what our people want. Those in abroad. Those nonsense people that in abroad. Not many. Those senseless people that in abroad. They don't want so that because what we are struggling for is in order to make our people to get up and have their life at hand.
That's it.
Have resources that can help them to live their life.
Yes.
Martin Nabikado, are you surrendering that you don't want to continue to be a Biafra? If they get this information from him, then they will let him come out and
That
tell
is it.
Biafrans, oh, my people, I'm sorry that I have deceived you. I
Yes.
don't want anymore to be a Biafra.
Yes.
And everybody will say, okay, my brother, you have tried. Maybe let another person try. Maybe another person God will choose to make sure that this, our cry, God will one day listen to us to be free from Nigeria.
Thank you so much.
Those people
Okay.
that in abroad that are talking nonsense about Simon Ekpa. I don't know what to say.
It's so shameful.
I just don't know what
so
to
shameful.
say.
Very, very shameful. Very unfortunate.
It's unfortunate.
It's very, very unfortunate.
It's unfortunate. But God will see us through.
Yes, He will.
God will
He will.
definitely see us through.
Definitely.
When we get this Biafra, let them stop being in abroad, because they will remain definitely in abroad and become slaves to the white people. Let them continue. We don't care. We don't care. We want a place where our people will be.
That's it. That's it. That's it. Yes. 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 Thank you so much for yes. That's it. That's it. Yes, that's it. Thank you so much. God will help us. And He will definitely. He will help us. I want to appreciate you honestly. You have said a lot. It's just that because of time, I have to cut you there. I'm sorry about that, but please, you have said enough. You have said enough. And thank you so much. In fact, God will help us. He said, he said, thank you so much for the prayers. I appreciate you so much for calling in. Thank you so much. You enjoy the rest of the day. You have just said it all, and you have to understand why we are fighting. Thank you all. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Thank you. Yeah, bye-bye. So the number is now free. You can call in. There's some calls have been coming in, but of course we have to allow her to conclude her thoughts before we also get other calls to come in. So you can call in now so that you can actually air your view. +212 707 898 194. Biafra is what we are for, and that is what we represent. I saw some video that somebody, I was telling you about the British. Tomorrow I'm going to speak more on that, how the British using their stooges to actually design concepts to deceive the people. They always feel that when they bring out narratives, the people would always fall for it. And that is one of the things that they think that they could use to deceive the gullible. As the video there shows the faces of every one of us in the autopilot media, showing my face there too, that we're the ones killing, we're the ones killing. The video is all over the social media talking about us killing. Those who have hidden their face, the faceless people, like Muhammad Abbas and all of that, who don't always want to bring their face out, are not the ones killing. It is us that are coming to talk, that are talking about the truth, and at the same time opening our face for people to know that yes, we are clean, we are plain, we are after what Mazen Namdekano have said and preached. We're the ones coming out, and they are saying we're the ones killing. But Biafrans know the truth. That video, when you see it, just don't circulate it, because you help them promote. Or the guy said he's a musician, and of course, pretending, they pay them to cry, they pay them to shed some tears to look like it's real. just like they do how they do in Nollywood, you know, in the movies. Somebody is crying, you think that is really happening to them, but it's, of course, they are paid for it. They are paid to cry. They're professional cries. They can cry. There are people who during burials they call them to cry, not because they are related to the person who is dead. They are not even emotionally connected. They are not even connected at all. Their work is to come and cry and wail. And you see them wail, you think that they actually have something, a business or something that they are losing by the person, you know, being dead, you know. But that's what they are paid to do. So even in politics, people are paid to cry. He came up, he started crying, and then putting our faces there, saying we are the ones killing people. And they took my face there. They took the faces of every autopilot media personnel, brought Mazi Samanepa's face, his words and all of that, and the things he said, and of course, some words also that Gaddafi said, projected them there and said we're the ones killing, because we said come out and you see what is going to happen to you, and see we're going to enforce it, we're going to flog you, we're going to do this and all of that, and they say we're the ones killing our people. If we're the ones killing, then what is Nigeria government doing? Nigeria government is now the innocent person. If we are the ones killing now, it simply means that we are now the ones killing a Nigeria government that actually came for you when we're just holding a flag, killing you and shooting you. Now that you have decided to defend yourself, they are now the ones that have retired. They don't want to kill you anymore. But now that you are defending yourself, they're now saying that you are the one killing yourself. How? So you are saying now that when we were defending, we were not carrying our arms and all of that, we were carrying flags, they were shooting us. You didn't say that they were killing us. Now that we have said that we're going to sit at home and they're coming to kill us, you now say that we're the ones killing, not them. So are you now telling us now that they have retired from killing? We have now picked up arms to save ourselves. They have now retired. We're now the ones killing ourselves. Does it make sense to you? Let me go to the messages. So you can call in if you want to call in, so that we can go on with the narrative and the things we're preaching. And as soon as the call comes in, I'll pick it, and then we can go on from there. And so you can call in right now, you know, and all of that. So let's look at the next message. Mr. Dazan says, Charles de Gaulle of France organized the French from his government in exile during World War II, what are idiots talking about? Simon Ekpa is free to speak for us from anywhere on this planet Earth. I don't know what they are talking, but we know that they are just being stupid for just saying what they just want to use as propaganda, you know. Diana Ogumbia Day, good to have you. Well done, Mazi Kelechi. God bless you all. Thank you so much, Diana. I'm happy to have you here again. Much love to you too. Thank you so much. And Fine Maxwell says, no genuine agitator will fight the country he or she is fighting in that same country. Will fight the country he or she is fighting in that same country. Okay, I understand it now. It's suicidal. You are senseless for making such an assertion. God bless Biafra and Biafrans. How can you tell me that he should come into a place where they're looking for him to kill to come and start fighting for freedom? We see the foolishness of our people is so pronounced. And so you're welcome to the program live. You are live on Biafra Global Network. Please go on and let's hear your views here too.
Thank you, Mazi Kelechi. Maz Onyeka speaking.
Oh, Mazi Onyeka, you're welcome. Thank you so much for joining. Please go on.
Thank you. I listened to how you briefly detail our people what Nigeria is all about. You are very, very brilliant in that explanation. You did a lot.
Thank you so much.
A brief night job. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
I want to add to what you said. Okay, I want to add. Yes, my name is Biafra. One of you, okay, and this is what I'm going to do. Okay, I want you to know that remember our message our leader gave us. The only day is getting better. Indeed, the only other is to get better. When we are praying to God, when we get the good end, we do the better thing to time. We need to resolve. That is declare the Allah. Okay, I want you to remember mental fitness is the key. Consistency amplified. Increase your mental fitness to be able to stand the challenges. Okay? Without doing mental test, you won't be able to stand it. Many lots of days are coming. We do this today. They are students. Okay? You are near to accident. If you become system. Okay? And you have to stand tall. You have to stand tall. And make sure, listen to me. Don't listen to propaganda. Know the pages you are going to listen. Don't go, not anywhere you page. Just choose the page you hear their truth. And make sure that Anybody that is close to you, when you hear the message, either you record it in audio or you screenshot it and send the person. Send to the person who don't have access to internet. They may read it through WhatsApp, okay, because WhatsApp they can get easily. Okay, make sure that you spread the message to those who don't have smartphones. That is what you're going to do. Don't listen and keep quiet. Remember, information is power. Information is security. And information is knowledge. And this is my quote, okay? Unity is power. And unity is freedom. Unity is also this way. Okay? This is it. Remember what business said. Remember what the Harry said. Let what he said. He said, and he did everything. He said we can make giving type of thing. So he's giving sometimes. Okay? And all the things that make Buhari, the man has already died, and this kind of is very much is doing the same thing. If you bring four youth from the region, if you bring him, like you can see people there, you get Biafra. Why did you get affected? And also said, why did you see this in service? Why? Because they know he's right. When the thing came out, it's DNA test is come out. I want you to know who you are believing. And when they don't see, nowadays we are in education. Because look at these people language. You know, our blood. There are many educated blood. You as a professor, I think you are right. They were connected. This is the society to okay? They are institutional person. They are the warrant. They are government. Okay, they know them, they should have known them. They should have known them because the parents kept people because they were person and because the husband was killed. Okay? And this is that. They have the oxygen. Okay? And we get how we see today. You know, we know that we have 100, 50 and not that. No, the view is not a mission. Okay? Are your people. And these people, they know their blood. And the blood of whom they carry is who they defend. Please, you have to be mentally tough. Okay? Don't be distracted by anyone who is trying to castigate what we are doing. Stand firm. Stand gidigam. Stand gidigam. You are the owner of the land. Okay? You are not the land.
So
I have many experience that when you have it, you can never go back in this freedom. Our aim is freedom, nothing. Unless if the light, let the heaven fall.
Yes.
To all of us. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Mazi. Thank you, Onyeka. Thank you so much for your submission. You just hit it, and Biafrans have gotten the message. Thank you so much. I appreciate you for calling in. And of course, expect you more to come. Thank you, Mazi. He has just said it the way it is. You have to understand it's not everybody that speaks your language is actually with you or is your brother. There are lots of infiltrators. There's so many people who are of the other blood, in our midst. As he mentioned, Auchi and other places, this is just the issue. So, but God will give us wisdom to deal with this matter. So please take those advices and know what to do about them. According to Vine Maxwell, says, you are senseless for making such assertion. God bless Biafra and Biafrans. In the assertion of saying that Mazi Manepa had to come back to the zoo to fight from there. I don't know. People are very daft. You just say, make some points. And that's how, when people are going after evil, they tend to prove how stupid they are. Just like when Ahithophel got into error, you saw that he started doing foolish things, and God turned his wisdom, his counsel, to foolishness. So that's what happens. James Lincoln says, in my vision, I saw Simon Ekpa return in Biafra land, and the people who are talking against him bow down and worship him. It will surely come to pass. He said, my brother, it will happen, and that's what's going to happen. Every one of them will bow to him, and then they will be surprised. They will cry tears. They will cry. Their tears will roll for betrayal, for betraying Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, betraying Simon Ekpa, betraying the cause of freedom. They will cry, and they will not be able to recover from it. Onyechi Fluxy says they castigated MNK, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. They said all manners of things to him, but it didn't stop him. Now they have come to Simon. He will be their end. That is it. And he will be their end, according to the order. The messages are much, but I have to read the messages for everybody. So please bear with me as I read the messages. John Lincoln, so shall it be in Jesus' the mighty name, everlasting, mighty and everlasting name. Amen. Thank you so much, Adazan, for response to that prayer. I say amen to it too. Onyechi Floxy, amen. Thank you so much, Adezion, for responding to Onyechi Floxy's message too. Hello, my people. Adet Tayo says, please kindly help me with my amount. Oh my God, this is another, I don't know. These kinds of messages, coming in a broadcast, Onyekachi also sent message. The Biafrans, remember, the nearer our exit comes, the tougher. As he has said, it comes, remember, the admonition from Lord MNK. We must be consistent. We must be consistent, consistency personified, and increase our mental toughness to climb the mountain. It shouldn't take anybody unawares to understand that this is the time to be actually tough and be resilient in what we're doing. It shouldn't take anybody to understand all of these. So General de Gaulle, not the General de Gaulle. Okay. Yeah, well, of course we know. It's yes, General de Gaulle. We know that. Yes, we know that. Yes. So thank you for that correction. And Noelin Adambo, hi. Thank you for. I like this. Your hi. Anytime you send it, it makes me happy. You Peculiar Nelson. Peculiar Nelson says, welcome all Biafrans. Thank you, Peculiar. Biafrans are welcome. Peculiar says, Caribou water, Pro Max. Thank you, Peculiar. And we'll keep giving them the water. There are no plebiscites. Okay, plebiscites. Okay. There are no plebiscites. Okay, talking about, yes. The what I was talking about then, and all of that. So it wasn't then. Nobody made a decision. Nobody agreed. They just forced it on us. And because we are just products, commodities. Commodities don't determine what the company heads do. They just sell them anywhere they want to sell them. That's what happens. Can we obtain the document of amalgamation and present it to the UN, please, to end this madness? We have been doing that a long time ago. That's why UN is telling you that they cannot solve your problem now. They are telling you to give them ideas on how to solve the problem. That's what they are saying. They said they can't solve the problem anymore for us. All the things we have been given to them, all this why they can't solve the problem. They don't know how to solve it. They are asking for us to bring documents, so that they know how to solve, so that they know how to do the work. They are UN, United Nations, but they don't know how to do the work. They need us to teach them how to do the work. So how can they help you? If you give them all documents, they don't know how to do it until you teach them. And that is how we are teaching them now, by our actions, by taking the bull by the horn, by insisting on our freedom, by deciding that we are going to be free, whether the Fulani likes it or not, by picking up arms to defend ourselves. That is how we are teaching UN to do their job. Even if they have it in their article, they are not implementing it. They fight you when you do it. It's just a written word, written clauses, but empty promises, empty. They don't understand how to do it. So we are doing it now, and we're going to do it well. Helen Peters says, good evening, great Biafrans. Thank you, Helen Peters. Good to have you again. Good to have you here. Let the voice of Biafra United be always speaking. It's lawful. Let the voice of Biafra United be always speaking. It's a love for light in nation world. Okay, I think you are talking about the Biafran nation to continue to speak trends. Okay, good. DD, thank you so much for that. That's why they prefer criminals as best candidates to install to be leaders of their colonies. That's it. Onikachi, thank you so much, my brother. Thank you for that. Thank you so much, Mazi. Thank you. Helen Peter says, all that gives me joy now is the great achievement of Biafra awareness. Thanks to the great dragon and all our autopilot media team. Thank you so much, Helen. Thank you so much. The line is open. If you want to call, you can call. Thank you so much, Helen, for that wonderful analysis. Spot on. Thank you so much, Mr. Dazion. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for that. BD says, I'm here in Ireland country, Dublin. I'm Biafran child. I am from Ebonyi State. Amofia Nibo. Okay, thank you so much, Didi. Good to have you all the way from Ireland and a full-blooded Biafra. Thank you so much. We are winning, Didi. Yes, so we are winning definitely, and we'll continue to win. Kehinde, you're here also. Thank you. I've been looking out for your message. Kehinde, Yasere, thank you. Good evening, beloved Kelechi. Thank you, Kehinde. Thank you so much. Good evening to you too. Also, just like God made Moses grow up in Pharaoh's house to know the heart of Pharaoh. Yes, that's it. I said, thank you so much, Matt, for that. He made him grow up, and God allowed him to be in Pharaoh's house for 40 years and allowed all the decadence of Pharaoh of Egypt to get into him. For that 40 years, he was saturated by the information of Pharaoh's house, worshipped their religion, did everything with them, but he knew who he is. He knew who he was, and then he also fought to make sure, but he went the other way, and God now took him out of that place for another 40 years, took him into the wilderness to remove all the misinformation he has, just like Mazi Nnamdi Kanu was taken away. He went abroad, he got all the information, removed all the decadence, got the right information by studying the two sides and studying abroad and knowing everything about the nations. The same with Moses also. God took him to the wilderness and helped him to get experience out there that will help him to come back to do the work. And that's the same thing with Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. So we should all understand this in that light. Yasser says, good to have you today. Thank you so much, Yasser. Good to have you too. Yasser says, please, sir, I know you will know about this video that I'm about to show you through this link. But sir, if you don't know, please watch it and try to educate our people for it. Many of our people. All right, I'll get the video, please. If you can send it to the number to me on WhatsApp, +212 707 898 194, +212 707 898 194. The line is open anyways. Anyone who wants to call can call now, so as I keep reading the messages. So please send it to me, my brother Kende, +212 707 898 194. Send it to that number. I don't know history and they don't want to know. Please tell them, because I believe that through history you will know your strength and your weakness. Yes, my brother, through history you can understand some things. Basically, as Felix says, good evening, Mazi Kelechi, good evening from here. As Felix, thank you, good evening from here also, and to you. And I know you're doing well. Good to have you. I think I didn't see you yesterday, but good to have you today. Onyechi Fluxy says, we will not take any speech made by Mazi Nnamdi Kanu from DSS dungeon. He must be freed and address us from his comfort zone. That is it. So they are saying that they should bring him out to address. No, you will free him so that he can talk to the people in his freedom, in that position of not being gagged or being a gun behind him somewhere, pointing to his head, say what we want you to say. No, not that kind of talk. Mike Williams. Okay, Mike William. Good evening, brother. Thank you, Mike William. Good evening to you also. Good to have you here, my brother. Thank you. Akaugo says, Kelechi Jisike. Thank you so much, Akaugo. Thank you, my brother. Good to have you here again, as always. Rebecca Sharon, love from here too. Thank you so much for the love. I love you too. Thank you for sending the love. Obioma says, good day, Kelechi. Thank you so much, Obioma. Elekwachi. Okay, Elekwachi. Oh, sorry, I thought it said Elekwachi. Sorry. Thank you. Historic, December 5th, 2022. Yes, for the Alliance broadcast. Yes, December 5th, 2022. Thank you. No, historic, December 5th wasn't the Alliance. The Alliance was November 6th. December 5th. And Clement, what are you trying to tell us here on December 5th? Historic. Okay, are you talking about, please refresh my memory on that. Please, I beg you, refresh my memory. Unstoppable Movement TV. Good evening, Mazi Kelechi. Thank you so much, Unstoppable. Good to see you again here. Thank you, as always. You're here encouraging and strengthening and all of that. Helen Peter says the sound is not clear. Oh, but I believe that was then when the network was actually trying to go off. I know that it's clear now. You can hear me clearly. Your voice is not coming out, Mazi. Okay. Azuke Felix. Okay. Thank God it was restored. They will die one by one. Ise Tochuku Michael, thank you for that. Audio is not coming out fine. Okay, I think we've resolved it now. It's coming out fine because I can see the responses and all of that. So I think we have it now coming out well. Your voice is bad. Oh my. Okay. That was then. Okay. Felix, Azuke says okay. It's okay now. Helen Peters, okay. Your voice is Mr. Dazarin says your voice is muzzled. Oh my God. But I know it's good now. We are hearing it now. Sorry, I didn't see the message. It's good now. Okay. Obi Michael says it's good now. Thank you, Obi Michael. Thank you. John Almeida says, good evening, brother Kelechi. Thank you so much, John. Good to have you again and see you here. Rebecca Sharon says, we love Mazi. We love the Mazi Kelechi. Thank you so much. I love you guys also. Thank you so much, Rebecca Sharon. I love you. Ichie Ogugu. Okay, it's Ogugu, I think, right? More grace to your elbow, my brother. Thank you so much, Ichie. Good to have you. Thank you so much, my brother. Thank you. I say to your prayer. Clement, indeed, very prophetic. Very, very prophetic, referring to the preaching I was making then and all of that. And of course, we say, good evening, sir. BNG Uche Chineke says, God keep strengthening you ahead. We are going home. Nothing is going to stop it. God has signed it. God bless you. Please, I want to beg you as you're watching, please, I want you to like this video and forward it on all your social media platforms. We want this truth. You see, the only way we can circulate truth and dominate the media space with truth is when we do the job together. When I speak, I can't reach everywhere. But when you help share it, we try to reach everywhere and the people get the message. So please share it on all your social media platforms. And at the same time, please, I beseech you, I beg you, like the video, because when people look at it and they see the likes, sometimes people want to watch a video by the number of likes. When they see the video, the likes, they say, oh, it seems there's something sensible coming out of this video, and then they will now want to watch it. So please like the video, and please, if you have not subscribed, subscribe. Let people see that our channel is growing and we are reaching more people by more subscription, and the notification is going around and far, and then we spread better. Thank you so much for complying with that. And so, Uche, God have signed it, and God bless you, sir. Thank you so much, Uche Chineke. Thank you. Sound not good, bro. Kelechi Tina Martinsons. Oh, is it still not good? I guess it's now fine. Anyways, I guess it's now fine. Let's go. AO, let's go. It's been a long time I saw you. Wow, good to see you here today. Those fools are planning to go to Finland and arrest someone. But in fact, we heard that a faction of Ohanese says that Finland government should arrest Mazi Samanepai. People are too gullible and foolish. Oh, Lord, well, I don't want to start preaching again because of time. Let me read your messages. We'll talk about that tomorrow. Tomorrow is going to be a continuation, because tomorrow is sit at home, continuation of what we are doing today. Those fools are planning to go to Finland and arrest Simon Ekpa or kidnap him, as if Finland is like zoo republic, mad people everywhere. They think it's just they are used to zoo and criminality, so they think anywhere they go, criminality will prevail. That's how foolish they are. Even Finland government knows the meaning of freedom. Finland fights brutal war with Russia before they can be able to get their freedom from Russia. That's it. Let's go. Thank you for reminding us that. And that is what we are standing on. Ugude and Chukwuebuka says many of our people fighting against sit at home, Simon Ekpa and ESN are just ignorant, but we cannot allow their ignorance to destroy us. Never, 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 my brother. Never, it won't happen. They can destroy us by their ignorance. Number to call, my brother. You are doing every good work. Thank you so much. I think I've given the number. Let me give it again in case Chinonso in the BC, you're asking for the number. The number is plus 212 707 898 194 plus 212 707 898 194. So number to call, I've given it now. So Chinonso, Michael, you have the number now. Tina Martins says, Annie Dons, did you cry when you and your colleagues sponsored NSARS and many Nigerian youths lost their lives? Fools everywhere, okay? Or foxes everywhere. Tina Martins says, good question, and all of that, I think this reaction from Chukwuebuka is from for that video, the shooting at the houses and all of that. I think that should be it. And also this Ekelon Samuel, also this reaction should be from that too. And of course, freedom is not and can never be free. Thank you so much, official Ogodaman. Ogodaman, good to have you here. Good to see you. Freedom is not and can never be free. And that's just static. Nothing, you can't get it just like that. You can't get it just like that. Tina Martin Sauce, thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Fighting freedom, freedom fighting is not cheap. It is costly. Ogodaman official V-blog. Yes, so it is costly. I tried to reach you, Ogodaman, the other time. Maybe you were busy, I even sent a message, but you didn't respond. So if you can respond so that we can, talk further, in this thing, because we're doing this thing together. Freedom is important to us. I'm sorry. I'm really sorry. The other time I tried to explain why. I don't know. I was waiting for your call. I don't know what happened to my phone that period. A call will come in. Once the phone, I'm not operating the phone, the call, I will not see it. It's later when because you said you were going to call by that time, and I was expecting the call. So I was still waiting for the call so that I will actually feature in that program. And I was waiting before I know it was late. And when I picked my phone, I saw that the call is already there. My phone, and other people can testify that when I call, when call comes in, I don't see the call unless I open the phone. I don't know why it's now that it has on its own, it has been restored. I don't know. A call will come in, I will not see it until I pick up my phone and open it, and I will now see that I missed calls. So please, I'm sorry about that, Mogodoman. I hope you're forgiving me on that matter. I'm sorry about that. So please forgive me on that. Patrick Mwokoro says, sound not clear. Oh, I know it's clear now, right? because not would have seen messages. Dim Ozemena sent M. Dim, okay, it's a good evening. Okay, you wanted to write something anyway, so you just missed it there. So good evening, sir. Thank you so much, Dim. Good evening to you, Ozemena. Thank you for being here. And a very Okafo, it's a while, but it's before it's Zeus. Wait, but sir, Ifeanyi Ejiofor is sues MNK. Should maybe you want to say should sue MNK Mazamanepa. Please check it. Is sues or is suing? Okay, Barry, you're trying to say he's suing MNK. Okay, sorry, Samanepa. Let's see. We're going to check it out. We're going to check it. Stella Uzumaka. Uzuka. Stella Uzuka. Well, I'm going to check the updates to know whether he's suing. Let's see how he's going to go with that. Stella Uzuka says, GCK, my dear, thank you so much, Stella. Thank you for that. You know, Barry, Eric says against MSE. I think you're responding to something very well. Okay, good. Osita Williams said, be strong and blessed for what you represent in Biafra land. We strongly stand by your side. Thank you so much. Be strong and blessed for what you represent in Biafra land. Thank you so much, my brother. And I know that having the backing of Biafrans is my strength. Mazionyeka, AK says, where is that comedian mimicking late Buhari who is in the north? Those ones are gullible people, you know, and they do what they have to do, you know, because of what they want to get. Why is the Igbo born northern comedian mimicking late Buhari out the public from a long time? Onyeka. Well, Onyeka, I don't know what to say about that, but you know, our people are just always maybe he has seen that you know, Buhari is not real and he has to stop that nonsense. Maybe he has seen that it's not going to sell, you know, he has to go out of it and all of that. Please, I want to beseech you all, please share this broadcast so that people can hear them. The messages the callers have made, strong points and advices. And of course, the preaching here today also, strong points and advice that are from the beginning of the program, very interesting. And I want you to please share this broadcast. Tomorrow, 4 p.m. Biafra time, I'll be here live again. And I'm going to be talking strongly on the matters further on this same topic, but in another way. I'm going to be coming in another pattern. Even if when I speak about things on the same topic, I still change the topic, but it's still in the same line of thought. So please prepare yourself for tomorrow, 4 p.m. Biafra time. Tell those who are not here, share the broadcast, tell them to join tomorrow, share the information. I'm going to try to send information also. And also prepare on Friday, we're going to be having the Oduduwa people here with me and some of our Biafra people. The flyer, the handbill design will be going out from today. I'm waiting for the final touch, the mistakes, some errors on it. So we want to correct them and then we start circulating them. Prepare yourself. This week is going to be very, very explosive. You know, today's been explosive. You can testify of that. Tomorrow is going to be more explosive. On Tide of Affairs, we're going to look critically into matters that are going around the world and not just around the world, around us, and at the same time relating to what we're doing. So please keep fit in that regard and prepare yourself, and Chukwokiki will continue to strengthen us and use me to speak to us, because what we're doing is about freedom. We're not doing anything, you know, away from freedom. So please, Kelechi, 4 criminals have come again on Twitter against MSC. Okay, and Barry also talking about what Okafor talked about then. You know, she said that he's suing Simon. Ebere Okafor said so. So now Barry has also confirmed that, you know, on Twitter. So sorry, Bro Kelechi. What I meant is that Ejiofor is suing Simon Ekpa. The update coming this afternoon. Let's wait, let him sue. We're waiting for him to do that. He's going to sue in the zoo. That's where you can do all the suing and all of that. And of course, we can testify of that. We are ready for him, and he has come out. So now more exposition, and he's going to see it. He's going to get it hot. Evidences and all of that will come out more now, and he's going to know that he has just dug his own grave, and he's going to go down in it. Thank you all for being here, for making this a lovely time, making it very worthwhile. I thank you all. As always, we are together in this thing, and we will get our freedom. Tomorrow is, today is the 82 days to our freedom, and tomorrow is another sit at home, the 14th, for this time, for this period. The last sit at home, that's 5 days, the end of the 5 days of sit at home. Please remember, be security conscious, stay indoors. Stay indoors. We're enforcing it. That doesn't mean we're coming to kill you. That's not what it means. So leave all those e-frogs and their masters, the Nzama, that are talking about talking about enforcing. They don't know, they don't even understand language, and they don't understand intention. and how to analyze things, So they come with their narrative that's as stupid as they are. So leave the e-frogs and their masters, the Nzama Association. Leave them alone. We are enforcing it in positiveness. The enforcement is we make sure that you stay indoors and we engage the people who are coming, the zoo representatives and their agents coming to attack us. That's how we enforce these things. So certainly ignore every distraction and focus on what you're doing. Focus on Biafra, focus on the mandate. Ejiofor has started. He has opened another chapter for himself. We are going to see to it and it will be sorted. So everybody prepare. It's going to be wonderful. And the spirit of Biafra is going to crush every enemy. He's going to sue in the zoo because that's where his criminals are. What do you expect? He cannot sue. Let him take the sue and let him sue, Simon Ekpa in Finland. Let him not sue him in the zoo because it's the zoo that contracted him. So they will manipulate the whole thing, But so I'll look at it later to know whether he's suing in the zoo or he's suing him, because you cannot sue somebody who is not a Nigerian. Simon Ekpa is not a Nigerian. He has destroyed his passport. He has destroyed even including the awards and everything he got. He's no more a Nigerian. Just like Mazen Namdekan is not a Nigerian. So you can't sue him in Nigeria. He's accusing you in Finland. You're going to sue him there and all of that. He's a Biafran. And of course, if you want to sue him, you have to sue him in Biafra. In Biafra, not in Biafra land under Nigeria. In Biafra as a sovereign nation. That's where you can sue him because he's accusing you of that, and all of that. So thank you all. I appreciate you all. Aubrey's Dishes, good to see you. I believe you are just joining now. We have said so many strong things here, very powerful things that I want you to listen to from top later and see the details and get the details. It's so powerful. The broadcast today is so powerful. I feel it because it was just flowing from the realm of the spirit. It was not actually prepared, but it was flowing from the realm of the spirit. And it takes us to the point what to expect after now. And that is what we're talking about. Tomorrow, we'll continue the narrative of what to expect after now. And I'm going to show you some things that you need to know and the things you need to hear. 4 p.m. Biafra time tomorrow. Please write the time. 4 p.m. as always. We're going to be here, live. And I want to remind you that we are ready with this video. I want to tell you we are ready. We are ready. But before I play the video, I'm going to tell you, stay safe, stay strong. Make sure you don't get yourself into trouble and make sure you stay fit. So we are ready. And this is the video that shows that we are ready for our freedom.
I believe that the reason God created man was for management.
Really? I have never heard it put that way.
The first thing is to be honest with yourself. You can never have an impact on society if you have not changed yourself.
God will never allow growth where there is no management.
Wow, wow, wow.
So instead of praying for things from God, pray for the management ability.
Everything I tell you is true. Everything I open my mouth and I say is correct because heaven directs me on what to say. Eligwe, Zemos in Zendidendo. Heaven will tell me and I will tell you it will come to pass in front of your eyes. Not behind you, you will see it happening.
God will withhold things from you if you cannot manage them.
When you look at the facts that something around 1 million people perished as a result of the actions of the British and Russian and Nigerian federal governments.
Vis-a-vis what we see in Nigeria, which is truly not, it should not be surprising. Look, what's happening in Nigeria is barbarous. It's horrible. I mean, it's complete madness, yet it's not a priority. The United States unilaterally could do almost anything it needs to do. It would be a long-term effort, but it could be done. And the United States has the capability. All the elements of power, we have those.
So why not?
It's not a priority. That's the problem. We are committed elsewhere in the world. Black West Africa is not a priority.
Anybody who changes his principles depending on whom he is dealing, that is not a man who can lead a nation.
They can't tell me. No way. When the time comes, it's okay. What stupid country is this? So when you see you try somebody's secret, when you like, you try secret. When you like, it's in public. What stupid country is that? What stupid country is that, I ask you? When you like, you try in secret. When you like, you try in private. They are killing my people. They are killing my people. They are killing Ambroise. They are killing my people. After killing my people, you tell me what to tell in secret? The person is mad. Completely mad. Tell Buhari, that's what I said. That he is mad. He cannot tell me. He cannot tell me. He's a madman. There's a contempt of court proceedings here. Contempt of court. They don't obey court order. They don't obey court order. You're telling me secret prayer. Is the person mad?
I, Nnamdi Kanu, will sacrifice anything sacrificable to make sure that Biafra comes. We hereby declare no election, no 2023 general election in Biafra land. This no election in Biafra land has been activated. We are going to make it a task that must be done by every Biafran. All measures will be put in place to make sure the adequate civil disobedience is implemented to stop the election in Biafra land.
Do you know the meaning of discovery? It means to bring to light something that is buried on the ground. If you can accept that, then you know that Biafra is coming. There is nothing man can do about it. It's too late. Way, way too late. The countdown has begun.